Hey guys, welcome back to Jed Talks. It's been a while. I'm finally back here, and I'm here with the Youth Pastor Sam.
Hello, everybody.
So, as you've seen, I took over Instagram yesterday. Oh, will it be yesterday? Yesterday is the time I'm filming this.
Two yesterdays.
2 yesterdays, yes. Um, to show you what I did on my day. Now, I don't really do that every single day. I tend to just be lying in bed, so I'm finally out of the house. But Sam, what have you been doing each day?
I've just been working away at the house. So he's been making me iron, wash, make food, just everything, just Cinderella,
So
basically.
you've actually been pretty productive.
Well, yep, completely productive.
I say this has been my most productive week in the fact that I've done things that last about 2 hours a day. So, um, but yeah, other than that, but also on the Instagram, I asked people to throw in some questions on a more serious one that I didn't want to answer on Instagram. So I did get one from user 120345 saying, "What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?"
Best piece of advice. It's very difficult, isn't it? I think. What about you? Have you received?
Well, see, I've had a while to think about this because I seen the question and I was getting all these light-hearted questions and I struggled to think of it on the spot because I thought, oh, I've got to be a bit more serious here. But a couple of very wise men have told me to never get married, never have kids, save me a
Wow.
lot of trouble. So I'd probably say that's one of my better pieces of advice. Um,
Are you gonna do that, or are you?
do you know what? They also says that you're probably going to fail on that because. But hey, look, I'm doing well, 22, and still going strong with it.
still living to that advice.
No,
You're still young, Jed. Still young.
but like other bits of advice, obviously, it's just get your head down, get working, and kind of do well. Your career is what you make of it, and it's kind of what I've been aiming for.
So working hard is like good advice.
Working hard or hardly working, but getting the job done. Up until recently, that is. So I'd probably say it's probably
I think similar kind of thing. I think it's good advice to never get married and never have kids. But no, it's not good advice. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I've got no kids, so I don't know. Maybe for me, best advice, obviously, like loving God, like the spiritual aspect of that is that putting God first. I think is the
youth pastor.
Yeah, that's why that's why I get paid to sit here. But I think putting God first is probably some of the best advice I think I've ever heard. Putting God first is really important. Have you ever seen that Denzel Washington video? He does like that speech to the students. It's a brilliant,
I think I would if it was put on. I would.
Yeah. He just literally says to them, put God first above all other things, above working in your new job or above your studies, and that put God first. And that'll be my. I think advice like that. I've received a lot of advice. I think good advice just now is not to make any lasting decisions during where we are just now, because life, we're in a really weird time just now. Like life is not going to be like this forever. So to make a decision on something just now, which will affect your life in the long run, I don't think is a wise thing to do. Like, for example, maybe saying, in this moment right now, I'm going to quit my job because I want to follow, like, my dreams to be an actor.
Well, me and Mark were actually thinking of making a YouTube page and like going really famous with that. But I guess
That's a good thing, though. That's positive.
but yeah, we thought hopefully it'll get to a point where we can quit our jobs. Joking. But yeah,
Best advice, work hard.
but
Next advice, quit your jobs.
but we won't do that now. Like we actually have to hit it successful first. But another honourable mention though for the best advice to the former youth pastor Danny Murphy, where one goes, we all go.
Yeah, where one goes.
When one
Explain that. Explain it for us.
right, okay. So in the best way, it was more like when we were in our worship time, and it was like when one person jumps, we all jump. It was more like we're in this together, that we all have the same goal in a way, that we're all worshipping Jesus, and none of us are on this journey ourselves, and we're all together, and I'm kind of like fluffing this on the light. That's what I kind of took from it.
That's pretty much
Right,
it. Were you just like, oh man, I'm going spiritual just now. This
it's been
isn't
so
like
long, Mary,
me. What's going on? That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It was just basically like community, is it?
Yeah.
Like, let's do this together. I think that's something important, isn't it, for us to remember when we do get back to youth.
It's something. It's always remained quite core with me in youth. I did used to always make a joke saying whenever he said when one goes, we all go. I'd like nudge the person behind me and say, well, we're walking out because they won't have to follow. But yeah, no, an actual, it was good. So the other question I got, which I knew the answer as soon as I seen it, which is a good thing, and it was, when was your kind of like moment of finding Jesus? Like, when did you first find him? Your turnaround, life turnaround, 180 moment.
The 180,
The 180
moment.
moment. That's why we're called 180 Youth, which I never found out for like a few years.
I know, I found it out when Bruce Buchan, don't know if you remember him, he's an old youth leader, he told me that's what it meant. So I think for me, my Jesus moment was, see, this is bad because I can't remember like there being like, like through all my childhood, I remember like kind of like believing in God, like to some extent. It was like how I was brought up, but like for me, my like switch, like my click moment, my switch on moment was like, I was 18 years old and I was sitting watching like a Hillsong. It was like a Christian worship thing on TV, and I was just like, actually, I want some of that. Like, I feel like I'm missing something in my life just now. Although I believe that God is real, although I believe in all these things, it was like I hadn't actually had a full, real relational connection with Jesus. And it was at that point I was like, right, this is actually real. Like, I know this is real, but this is real for me now. And that was just me sitting in my living room watching TV. So it can happen anywhere.
Happen anywhere, any age. Like I was quite young when it happened with me. I'd always been going to church with my family, pack into the minibus or whatever it was to all rock up to church, and it was always something I was growing up on. But it was when I was 7 years old. There was a preacher. I forgotten the preacher's name, but my mum actually can still remember him. And it was a classic, gospel service, and he showed this picture which is always stuck in my mind, and he actually gave out like a card with a picture on it, and it was Jesus knocking on the door of your heart, but there was no handle on the outside, and it was like to signify that only you can let Jesus in. You kind of like force his way in. Like obviously, I'm waffling. Okay, I'll just move on there. So we have to like let him into our hearts, and I just that really stuck with me at a young age. And we got home, and my mum like asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, I want to open up that door. And she prayed with me at night, and that was the night I gave my life to Jesus, and I never looked back. But actually, right, I also thought that I had to rededicate my life to Jesus a lot. So in the following months, I think it could have been months, I would pretty much like every night give my life back to Jesus. And I kept telling my mum, I keep giving my life back to Jesus. She's like, no, you only need to do it once. And so that was it for me.
That's good. Was that like an old painting? Because there is an old painting.
Yeah, it was based on.
Yeah, because there's an old painting where it's like Jesus knocking at the door, and there's not like a handle on the outside. Yeah. Because Jesus is like, yeah, no, that's cool.
So whenever I see that photo.
Yeah, that's like your moment. That's really cool. I never knew that, Jed. That's a nice little story there.
Something every day, I guess. Well, actually, I've not been learning stuff every day.
I know.
You learn something every day until you're in lockdown.
So that's a really cool testimony, Jed. Awesome. Like, I've never heard that before. But I have a challenge for you, okay? Me and Mark thought of this challenge of, I think it's called like some sort of tissue paper challenge, where basically, like, I know you're very competitive, and like, you're very competitive. And what I see, what we're going to do is, at the church balcony, we're going to throw tissue paper off, you're going to throw it off, and you've got to try and get downstairs and catch the tissue paper before it hits the floor. And if I want to see if you can do it, and if you think you can do it at home, then you do it as well and try and challenge Jed. That could maybe even another segment, challenge Jed. Challenge Jed. But they'll never win, will they? Because you always win.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm just trying to think, because there's a lot of like stuff at the back here, and I need to know how far I need to run. If you're also wondering where this is being filmed, because everyone's puzzled, you're not going to find out. Figure it out yourself.
So we'll try that right now.
Yeah, we'll give that a go.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go!
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay. Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes. Just in time.
Oh, that's quite good actually. So we're going to try and do the outro by the time this hits the ground. So everyone, that has been Jed Talks. I hope to see you guys back at Youth soon once this is all done.